Alien Frontiers is a 2 to 4 player game from Clever Mojo Games and designed by Tori Neiman. Some of the mechanics used are dice rolling, worker placement, and area control. Your goal is to settle and control different areas of an alien planet. So you're going to be using spaceships to fly around different orbital facilities, collecting resources while trying to place more colonies on the board than your rivals. So what's in the box? You're gonna get 24 ships, which are represented by different colored dice. They come in 4 colors, and that's what you'll be using to roll and place on the orbital facilities. You're gonna get 1 clear die, which is called a relic ship, and this is tied to one of the territory bonuses of on the board. It's just like a bonus you can acquire by placing colonies here. You're gonna get some ore tokens and some fuel tokens, and these are basically your resources. You're gonna get 36 colony tokens, and these come in 4 colors, and every game, depending on how many players you have, you're going to start with a certain amount. These are what you're going to place on any of the 8 different territories on the board. And so what you're doing there is basically colonizing that area and collecting victory points. You're going to have 22 alien tech cards, and these are your action cards. And these are usable only on your turn. So every card you acquire, you keep in place face up in your play area. And you can use multiple cards per turn, providing you can pay the resource cost each card requires. So, and you're usually going to have to pay to use the card's ability, but sometimes just having a certain card gives you a pretty sweet bonus. There are even cards capable of giving you 2 abilities, but you usually have to discard the card to get the second ability of a card. You're going to get 8 territory counters, and these are tokens that are going to be placed on the board before the game starts. And these represent bonuses you get if you colonize and have control over the area, which is have more colonies there than anyone else. They also give you a victory point. They're not permanently held, though. So as soon as someone places an equal or greater amount of colonies in an area under someone's control, the bonus is taken away and it's given to whoever has the most colonies there. So in the case of a tie, nobody gets the token. It just goes back on the board. You're going to get 3 field generator counters. And these are powerful little tokens that you can control and move around with some of the alien tech card abilities, which is usually tied to the second ability. So you'll discard a card, and you'll be able to move one of these field generator tokens around. And they just modify a rule within a territory. So for instance, no one can place colonies in a territory that has the repulsor field generator. Then you're going to get a game board, and the game board is big, and I think it's beautiful, and has the orbital facilities and the territories listed on it. The board is simple to understand with easy to digest iconography and bold white lettering that clearly displays all the relevant information. So it's a nice size board, and it's big enough to accommodate 4 players, but it's not so big that it's not going to fit on your average table. So I have a pretty small kitchen table, and I've not had any issues setting the board up. You're also going to get a victory point scoreboard, and this just keeps track of how many victory points all the players have at any given time. And the scoreboard is constantly changing because some of the points you get are not permanent. So you're going to gain points for controlling territory or having certain alien tech card, but as soon as you lose either the card or lose control of the territory, you're going to lose those points. And another player may gain them, and back and forth. I think the rule book does a a pretty good explanation of it when it says that the scoring track is a snapshot of the current board and hand situation at any single point in time, because it's constantly in flux. And the rule book you get is easy to read and includes descriptions and examples for pretty much everything you're going to need in there. So the goal in Alien Frontiers is to have the most colonies on the game board and ultimately have the most victory points at the end of the game. So how you do that is you roll your dice, or your ships, I guess, and you place them on different orbital facilities so you can collect resources. And you'll need to take advantage of the various dice rolls you get. For instance, if you roll a high number, you may want to place your ships at the solar converter. The solar converter lets you get a number of fuel according to the face value of the die you rolled. You know, so a 6 would gain you 3, and you know, so you want a bigger number there. And if you roll sequential numbers with at least 3 dice, such as a 2, 3, and a 4, you can dock at the Raiders outpost. Now, docking there lets you steal a total of 4 resources from any player, or 1 alien tech card. I won't go through all the cool orbital facilities, but you can do anything from collecting resources. You can add more ships to your fleet, and you can even place one of your colonies immediately if you're, lucky and get the right roll. And you're going to do this until any player places all of their colony tokens. And then you check the scoreboard and determine the winner. So that's pretty much how it's played. But one of my favorite aspects of the game is the modifiers. And that's referring to the alien tech cards, the territory bonuses, and the field generators. Now, these add a touch of strategy to an otherwise purely tactical game and can really be used to manipulate almost every facet of gameplay. Dice rolls can be added to, they can be subtracted from, and they can even be re-rolled entirely if you can find a way to do it. And since the modifiers can be combined, you can create your own crazy combos and really play around with the rules. In one game, I controlled the pole foothills, which gave me the territory counter, which then gave me the bonus and the ability to pay 1 less fuel to use any of the alien tech cards that I had. So the alien tech cards I had were the booster pod and the stasis beam. And these let you increase or decrease the value of a ship, respectively, for the cost of 1 fuel. So I was able to manipulate some great rolls for free before everyone else finally caught on and, someone stole one of my cards. And as far as scoring goes, games are usually tight until the very end. And even if you're behind 4 or 5 points, a few strategic colony placement and an alien tech card or 2, it can put you right back in it. I know some may be turned off by how the scoring track is visible the whole game, and how games actually just seem to stay close. But I play games to have fun, and that's exactly what I have when I'm playing Alien Frontiers. Well, since you have no idea what you're going to roll on your next turn, there's not really that much planning ahead. So sometimes towards the end of the game, when you start piling up a few alien tech cards, as well as a couple of territory counters, you may end up getting to a point where turns start to take a bit longer because everyone is weighing out every possible card and bonus combination before making a move. I don't think it ever gets too out of hand, and I think the downtime is acceptable for a 4-player game. With 3 players, though, it can really get moving. So Alien Frontiers is a very simple game to learn. Most of the board is marked with icons, so it's easy to remember what to do once you memorize them. But insane combos, stealing, and tight scores really make this game a winner and an absolute blast to play. Everything about this game just pops, from the theme to the components with its colorful dice and wooden bits to the game board that impresses with style and simplicity. Games move quickly, and new players will catch on after no more than a few turns, but there really is room for expert play, and that's mostly by combining abilities and figuring out which territory bonuses work best with your playstyle. So in summation, Alien Frontiers is a fantastic game, and I cannot recommend it highly enough.